بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله على محمد وآله الطيبين الطاهرين اللهم وفقنا وسائر المشتغلين للعلم والعمل الصالح بحق محمد وآل محمد اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وعجل فرجهم والعن عدوهم. Imam Ali alayhi salam said, tolerance and perseverance are twins. Tolerance and perseverance are twins, and high ambition produces them. And high ambition produces them. قال الإمام علي عليه السلام الحلم والأنات توأمان. الحلم والأنات توأمان ينتجهما علو الهمة. ينتجهما علو الهمة. With Islamic laws, the seventh condition which makes salah void, still we are with the things which invalidate salah. The seventh thing which makes salah void is unintentional loud laugh. Unintentional loud laugh. And if the laugh is uncontrollable, that means if he laughs without intention, he cannot control himself, or involuntarily, if what promoted it in the first place was intentional for that matter inadvertent, the salah will be void. Sometimes you laugh but without intention, you do not mean it. But if it increases and it reaches to the level that becomes intentionally happens. Sometimes, for example, it happens that you laugh for something in front of you, you were not concentrating in your salah, or something happened accidentally, you didn't pay attention for it. So you start to laugh, then you go back to your salah. It doesn't matter here. It doesn't matter because it happens intentionally. Not intentionally. Okay? But if such a thing happened and you continue in laughing loudly, you know that you are in salah, and you know that if you laugh intentionally will turn your salah void, and you keep laugh. In this case, your salah is void. Your salah is void. And if the laugh is uncontrollable or involuntary, if what promoted it in the first place was intentional, or for that matter inadvertent, the salah will be void. But if one laughs loudly unintentionally, or if he purposely laughs without emitting any voice, there is no harm. There is no harm. You got this idea? Now, but definitely it is different hukum from the previous one. But if laughs loudly unintentionally, for example, you are praying and there is a mouse comes in front of you. This mouse was walking freely. It doesn't scare or afraid of anything. And you laugh for the scene. So this laugh is unintentionally. Or if he purposely laughs without emitting any voice. He laughs just like smile, yes. Yeah, not jiggles. Yeah, smile. No. Look, Sheikhana, A smile is different from laugh. Laugh with purpose. Smile just like this. Show it on your face. But laugh comes with intention. Okay? Good. Now, but if one laughs loudly, unintentionally, or if he purposely laughs without emitting any voice, there is no harm. There is no harm. That means his salah is what? Is valid. Issue number 1158. If in order to control his laughter, if this person, the musalli, he tries to control what? He tries to control his laughter. The condition of the person in salah changes. The condition of the musalli is changed. Like if the color of his face turns red, he should, as an obligatory precaution, pray again. As an obligatory precaution, he should pray again. That if because of the love, his situation or his condition in the salah is changed, just like he explained that his face becomes red, as an obligatory precaution, he should pray again. Not as a vertical, as an obligatory precaution. The eighth thing which invalidates salah as an obligatory precaution, if one intentionally weeps. If somebody intentionally weeps silently or loudly over some worldly matters. He weeps over some worldly matters. For example, he fails in the exam. He does not have such amount of money. He cannot get this woman as a wife. Worldly issue. Okay? His salah will be void. His salah will be void. But if he weeps silently or loudly due to fear of Allah, he weeps silently or loudly. What is the reason? Because he is afraid of Allah. Or for the hereafter. He is scared from the hellfire. Na'udhu billah. There is no harm in it. There is no harm if he weeps loudly or silently in the salah because of what? Because of he is afraid of Allah, because of the hereafter matter. There is no harm in it. In fact, it is among the best acts. It is, if you weep in your salah loudly or silently, it's a good act. It is the better act that you can do in your salah. Due to what? Due to the hereafter purpose, due to the you are afraid of Allah. It is like that. The ninth thing which make the salah invalid, any act which change the form of salah. Any act which change the form of salah, like clapping or jumping, invalidates the salah, regardless of whether that act is done intentionally, clapping or jumping, okay, whether this act is intentionally or forgetfully. Both of them invalidate the salah. However, there is no harm in actions which do not change the form of salah. However, there is no harm in actions which do not change the form of salah, like making a brief sign with one's hand. For example, my wife, she asked me, where's the key? Like this. Doesn't matter. That will not change the form of the salah, and it does not make the salah invalid. Issue number 1159. If a person remains silent during salah for so long, he keeps himself silent for so long time in salah, that it may not be said that he is offering a prayer. That if somebody looks at him, he said, he just stand. Yes, he is standing in the position of salah, but he is not performing his salah. All right? If a person remains silent during salah for so long that it may not be said that he is offering a prayer, his salah is what? His salah is invalidated. His salah is invalidated. For that, some people, when they stand in their salah and they still standing just like that for a while, just thinking or absent-minded, okay? In this case, we tell them that your salah is what? Is void. You have to re-pray again. Issue number 1160. If a person performs an extraneous act during salah, an extraneous act like what? Or maintains prolonged silence, or maintains prolonged silence, and then doubts whether his prayer has been thereby invalidated, he should repeat the salah. He should repeat the salah. But the better way of doing it is to first complete the salah that he is doubting about its validity, and then repeat it. And then repeat it. The 10th thing which makes the salah invalidate, eating or drinking. It is not allowed while you are performing your salah to eat or drink. This will invalidate your salah. If a person offering a prayer eats or drinks in such a manner that people would not say that he is in salah, his prayer is what? His prayer would be void. His prayer would be void, regardless of whether he does it intentionally or forgetfully. Regardless whether he performed this act, eating or drinking, intentionally or forgetfully. If somebody looks at him while he is eating or drinking and said, he is eating and drinking, he is not performing his salah, in this case his salah is what? Is void. However, if a person who wants to keep a fast is offering a mustahab salah, look, he wants to keep his fast and he is performing what? Mustahab salah, just like nafilah. Before the adhan of Fajr, and being thirsty, fears that by the time he completes the prayer, it will be Fajr. In this case, he is performing mustahab salah, just like nafilatul layl, and he likes to perform what? His fasting, his mustahab fasting, or his fasting, and he is thirsty, if he continue performing his salah, his what we call it, his salah, if he finished it, that Fajr will be finished, and that Fajr will be in, so he cannot drink. In this case, he can take something and drink while he is performing his salah. He can drink water during that mustahab prayer, provided water is not more than 2 to 3 steps away from him. That water is not far away, more than 2 or 3 steps away. Look, if the water is in front of him, definitely he can walk to this water, drink it, and go backward, keeping his face, his stomach facing what? Facing Qibla. Was this in your mind? Provided water is not more than 2 to 3 steps away from him, and he should be careful not to commit acts which invalidates salah, like turning his face away from Qibla. Issue number 1161. Even if the intentional eating or drinking, even if the intentional eating or drinking does not change the form of salah, the intentional eating or drinking does not change the form of salah, as an obligatory precaution, he should repeat the salah. He should repeat the salah regardless of whether muwalat is maintained or not by eating and drinking. I don't care. What I care about is that he is eating or drinking. Is that he is eating or what? Or drinking. And eating or drinking will invalidate the salah. Whether eating or drinking intentionally or unintentionally act. Is it understood? Again, I repeat issue number 1161. Even if the intentional eating or drinking does not change the form of the salah, as an obligatory precaution, he should repeat the salah, regardless of whether muwalat is maintained or not. ما يهم عندي يقول لي يابا أنا ما خليت بالموالات، الموالات باقية على ما هي عليه، ما أهتم، ما دام أكلت وشربت عيد الصلاة كاحتياط وجوبي, or not by eating and drinking. Issue number 1162. If a person in salah swallows the food, in salah he just swallow, not eat, swallow, tila, the food which has remained around his teeth, some of the food which remained around his teeth, he just swallow this food. His prayer is not invalidated. That means his salah is in order. His salah or his prayer is not invalidated. Similarly, if things like grains, حبيبات, of sugar remains in the mouth and they melt slowly, grains of sugar, they still in the mouth and they melt slowly. Is that affecting the correctness or the validity of salah or not? If things like grains or sugar remain in the mouth and they melt slowly and go down the throat and go down the throat. ونزلت وين؟ عليكم السلام ورحمة الله Sheikh. And goes down into throat. There is no harm in it. That means her salah is what? Her salah is valid. Her salah is valid. 11th. The 11th act which invalidates salah. Any doubt concerning the number of rak'ats. Any doubt concerning the number of rak'at. In those prayers which consist of 2 or 3 rak'ats. In those prayers which consist of 2. Which prayer consists of 2 rak'ats? Salat al-Subuh, Salat al-Maghrib, Salat al-Zuhr, Salat al-Ashr, al-Asr, Salat al-Isha. All of them, they have the first 2 rak'at. Number 1 and number 2. Okay? Again. Any doubt concerning the number of rak'ats in those prayers which consist of 2 or 3 rak'ats will render the salah void. I don't know whether I'm in the first rak'ah or the second rak'ah. Or this is the second rak'ah or the first rak'ah. Or this is the second rak'ah or the third rak'ah. The third rak'ah or the second rak'ah. All these doubts will invalidate salah. Also, if one doubts about the number of the first 2 rak'ats, again, although or also, that means the same hukum which invalidates the salah. If one doubts about the number of the first 2 rak'ats of salah having 4 rak'ats, just like the same hukum, but we explained at the beginning. At the beginning it was concerned of the Salat al-Subh and Salat al-Maghrib. Now Salat al-Zuhrain wal-Isha. Also, if one doubts about the number of the first 2 rak'at, الركعة الأولى والركعة الثانية إذا عنده شك, if he has a doubt between the first rak'ah or the second rak'ah. This is the first rak'ah or the second rak'ah. This is the second rak'ah or the first rak'ah. In this case, his salah is what? Is void. Of salah having 4 rak'ahs like Dhuhr, Asr and Isha, his salah will be void if he continues to be in doubt. If he continues to be in doubt, that means he went to the 4th or the 3rd rak'ah, or the 4th rak'ah, and he's still in doubt. That was the first or the second or the third. In this case, his salah will be what? Will be void. But, look after but. But, while he is doubting, he realizes that no, that was the second rak'ah, that I'm sure that was the second rak'ah. Now his salah is what? Is in order, and he has to continue his salah. Is this understood, inshallah?
Sir?
Yes.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaykum salam.
As far as I know that the doubt which invalidates the salah is only if you have doubt between the first and the second rak'ah and you cannot confirm which one was the right.
Mm-hmm.
But the rest of the rak'ah, if I have doubt, there is a verdict, there is a hukum. As far as I remember, but now you said that in Salat al-Maghrib, if I have a doubt in each rak'ah, so this invalidates the salah, even if I have a doubt between the second and the third rak'ah, right?
Yes.
So there is no hukum that fixes the doubt in our matter of salah.
Now we explain that, Shaykhana, if the doubt continue with you, that your salah is invalidated. But if you realize that you were in the third rak'ah, now you have to continue. This is the third rak'ah, and you continue your salah. Your salah is okay, not invalidated. But if your doubt is continue with you, that you do not know, this is the third rak'ah or the fourth rak'ah. This is the third rak'ah or the second rak'ah. No, the third and the fourth we have. The third and we have fourth, we have another hukum. No, I mean, this is the third or the second rak'ah. And you do not reach to a point. You have this doubt. This is the third or do not. We do not have the solution for this. This doubt will invalidate your salah. This doubt, look, Shaykhana, if you doubt between this is the first or the second or the first, and you do not have a result, your salah is void. You have to restart your salah.
Yes.
If you have a doubt between the second and the third, and you do not reach to a point, this is the second salah, this is the second rak'ah, or this is the third rak'ah. You do not reach to what? To a point. In this case, also your salah is invalidated. You have to start from the beginning. Now, we have doubts, other doubts, like between the third or the fourth, or the fourth and the fifth, or the fourth and the fifth and the sixth. We have what? We have ahkam for these doubts. While the doubts about the first and second and third, no, immediately will invalidate your salah.
In all 5 prayers.
In all 5 prayers.
While I am doing my Maghrib prayer, and I cannot confirm whether this is the second or the third rak'ah, and I am still in my doubt. So here, my prayer is
invalid. Yes,
so
invalid, void. Void, yeah, you have to restart your prayers from the
other prayers that contain 4 rak'ah, if I have a doubt between the second and the third.
Same hukum. Still the same hukum. Still, you're welcome. Twelfth act which invalidates salah. If a person omits or adds the rukun, elemental parts of the salah, like ruku', like takbirat ihram, okay, 2 sajdas. If a person omits or adds the rukun, elemental parts of the salah, either intentionally or forgetfully, his salah is what? Is void. Similarly, his salah is void if he does an extra rukun forgetfully, like adding a ruku' or 2 sajdas in 1 rak'ah. In 1 rak'ah. His salah is what? As an obligatory precaution will be void. As an obligatory precaution, his salah will be void. Look, the first part with verdict, with fatwa. أول حكم كان بالفتوى. If a person omits or adds the rukun in the salah of the salah, either intentionally or forgetfully, add or what? Or omit, his salah is void. This is what? As a verdict. As a verdict. Similarly, if he does an extra rukun forgetfully, like adding a ruku' forgetfully, or 2 sajdas in 1 rak'ah, his salah as an obligatory precaution will be void. Sheikh.
What's the difference between these 2 sentences?
Yes.
If a person omits or adds rukun, then we move to the next one. Similarly, if he does an extra rukun, it means he adds. So what's the difference?
This is in 1 rak'ah. The second part, it happens in 1 rak'ah. But the first part in the whole salah.
So what's the difference?
How it comes?
Are the same salah.
How it comes? What is the difference? In one rak'ah, I made 2 ruku's.
Okay.
In one rak'ah, I made what? 2 ruku's.
Okay.
That will invalidate salah. But in the first part, in the whole salah, I add another rak'ah, another ruku'.
Well, okay, but adding another...
Shaykhana. Okay, just imagine this situation. Just imagine. In the same salah, I have rak'at.
Okay.
Don't we? And in the same rak'ah, I have acts. In each rak'ah, I have acts. For example, I have 1 ruku' in each one rak'ah. 1 ruku' in each rak'ah. What I did, in one rak'ah, I add what? I made 2 ruku'. 2 ruku'. Individually. In my salah, individually. Not in congregational, because the hukum is different. My own salah, I perform in the second rak'ah, I perform 2 ruku'. This will invalidate salah. This number 1. Number 2, the other picture. No, I added to Salatul Zuhur, an extra ruku'. That means I have 4 rak'at and 1 ruku'. Extra 1 ruku'. Not in the same rak'ah. Have you got it?
I think that my text contains a mistake here.
What?
Because here they didn't write ruku', they wrote rukun. So this is the mistake I was asking about. And it makes me a little bit confused. If one does an extra rukun, he should say an extra ruku', not rukun.
If one omits purposely acts, which
The first one is rukun, but the second one should be ruku', not rukun.
If one omits purposely acts which are not rukun or makes an addition, salah will be, that's what we are in?
No, sorry.
It's 11th? 12th.
Yes.
If a person omits or adds the rukun
Okay, that's correct. Now
of the salah, either intentionally or forgetfully, the salah is void. Similarly, if he does an extra rukun, should be like this. Yeah, you are welcome. It should be extra ruku' forgetfully, like adding a ruku' or 2 sajdas. I read it ruku' tara. And I explain, I just pass it, I didn't answer it. Thank you, Sheikh Faiz. I read it ruku' and I explain it as ruku'. I didn't pay attention that it is rukun. It is written. And you concentrate on it. Thank you very much. Okay. Like I didn't. Now I think it's clear for all of you. Good. And if one omits purposely acts which are not rukun or makes an addition, salah will be void. But if one forgetfully adds 1 more takbiratul ihram, salah will not be void. If somebody, he adds what? He adds 1 more takbiratul ihram, his salah will not be what? Will not be void. Don't forget that takbiratul ihram, it is what? It is elemental part. It is a rukun. Okay? Issue number 1163. If a person doubts after the salah, if a person is doubting after the salah whether or not he performed any such act which invalidated the prayer, his salah will be in order. His salah will be what? will be in order. If a person doubts after the salah whether or not he performed any such act which invalidated the prayer, his salah will be in order. Definitely after you finish your prayer and you doubt of something, your prayer is what? Is valid. Is valid. بعد القضاء العمل. We came to a new topic, that things are disapproved while praying. الأفعال المكروهة أثناء الصلاة. Issue number 1164. It is makruh that a person in salah slightly turns his face towards right or left, just like this or this. It is makruh. An angle which would not be construed as deviation from Qibla. That this, when you turn away like this or this act is makruh. This act is makruh. Otherwise, salah will be void. Otherwise, that means what? If you diverted your face or you move your face toward the point of the right or to the point of the back or to the point of the left, in this case, your salah will be what? Invalid. As explained earlier, it is also makruh during a prayer to shut the eyes. Makruh to what? To close your eyes, to shut your eyes. It is makruh. Or turn towards right or left, or turns your eyes towards right or left. It is makruh. And to play with one's beard, to play with one's beard, it is makruh. And hands, to play with one's hands while you are praying, it is makruh. And to cross the fingers of one hand into those of another, to cross the fingers, it is makruh. شبك أصابعك in your salah. And to spit in salah, it is makruh. واحد يتفل بالصلاة, it is makruh. It is also makruh to look at the writing of the Holy Quran. It is also makruh to look at the writing of the Holy Quran. If there is a writing of the Holy Quran here or there or anywhere, it is makruh to look at it while you are in your prayers. Or some other books, or a ring, or some other books, not only Quran, another book, it is makruh. Or to look at your ring, it is also makruh. It is also makruh to become silent while reciting Surah Al-Hamd. Like what? Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. This is makruh. It is not like that. If you read to recite Surah Al-Hamd, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, Malik Yawmiddin. مباحة. تفتح علي. مباحة. هذا الإخفات. هذا هو الإخفات. Or any other surah or dhikr, so as to listen to some conversation, so as to listen. Why you keep silent? Why you not reading like this? In order to what? To listen to some other conversation. It is makruh. And in fact, every such act which disturb attention and humility is makruh. Each act which disturb humility or your attention to talk to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it is makruh. Last issue number 1165. It is makruh for a person to offer a prayer when he is feeling drowsy, محصور مضايق, or when he restrains his urge for urinating or defecation. Similarly, it is makruh to offer a prayer with tight socks which press the feet. Also, it is makruh. There are other things also which are makruh in salah. They are mentioned in detailed books on the subject. Walhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen wa sallallahu ala Muhammadin wa alihi at-tayyibin at-tahirin. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وعجل فرجهم والعن عدوهم